Hello, welcome to the weekly highlights program on Azərbaycan Television with the major developments of the week. I am your host İlham Məmmədov. Now first, let's take a brief look at some of the top stories of this week. President İlham Məmmədov received Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Turkey to Azerbaijan, Erkan Ozaral. A video address by President of the Republic of Azerbaijan İlham Məmmədov was presented at the headquarters of the World Health Organization in Geneva, Switzerland, on the initiative of the Director General of the organization, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. President İlham Məmmədov received Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Turkey to Azerbaijan, Erkan Ozaral. President İlham Məmmədov noted that Erkan Ozaral's terms of office in our country ended and added he had done a lot for the development of Turkish-Azerbaijani fraternal relations and thanked him for it. Emphasizing that relations between the two countries are at the highest level, the other side said that Turkish-Azerbaijani friendship, brotherhood and unity stood the test in all spheres. He said that the support extended by Turkey during the patriotic war will be remembered, of course, and added he was inspired by Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's support for Azerbaijan from the first hours of the war, which ensured that some foreign forces stayed out of the war. Noting that our relations are multifaceted, there is no area where there is no cooperation and great progress had been made in all areas in recent years, the other side said that the travel between the two countries without the need for passports shows how deep our relations are. You always have place here, you have a place in our hearts. I know that the Azerbaijani public organizations, media representatives and officials in Azerbaijan highly appreciate your work, including me, said President İlham Məmmədov. Then, President İlham Məmmədov presented the Friendship Order for Special Services in the Development of Friendly Relations and Cooperation between Azerbaijan and Turkey to Erkan Ozaral. Expressing gratitude for this high award, Erkan Ozaral said that he never separated Azerbaijan and Turkey and both were equally homeland for him. Ankara is as dear as Baku is to me. The result of this love is that I feel very happy, because I was the ambassador who came to Azerbaijan and witnessed the best moments among all future Turkish ambassadors. It was a great pleasure for me to witness the patriotic war, the ambassador said, adding that he worked to bring our countries and peoples closer together. He said he had been able to do this thanks to the paths opened by the presidents of Azerbaijan and Turkey, underlining the support from President İlham Məmmədov during his tenure in the country and thanking the Azerbaijani people in the person of the head of state. The ambassador said, I have always felt our brotherhood. I have witnessed it everywhere I went. Hopefully, Turkey and Azerbaijan will be even closer from now on, because as you said, we are strong together, Erkan Ozaral said. On April 6, a video address by President of the Republic of Azerbaijan İlham Məmmədov was presented at the headquarters of the World Health Organization in Geneva, Switzerland, on the initiative of the Director General of the organization, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus.
I now welcome His Excellency President İlham Aliyev of Azerbaijan to reflect on his experience of the pandemic and what's critical to end the acute phase as quickly as possible.
Every year since 1950, we celebrate a World Health Day on April 7th. But 2021 is a year when the importance of health became even more significant. Having a modern, sustainable, high-quality healthcare system is a priority for every country. Healthcare in Azerbaijan is currently going through a significant change. With implementation of mandatory health insurance, Azerbaijan is strengthening the primary health care, renovating the emergency medical care services, facilitating the digitalization by starting e-health platform and national health accounts within the country. In the meantime, the second year of COVID-19 pandemic is continuing to put enormous pressure on healthcare system around the world. Azerbaijan was among the first countries to mobilize global efforts against COVID-19 pandemic. We initiated the summit of the Turkish Council in April 2020 the summit of the non-aligned movement in May 2020, and the special session of the United Nations General Assembly at the level of the heads of state and government in December 2020. Honoring its international responsibility, Azerbaijan has made voluntary contributions to the World Health Organization in the amount of $10 million. We have also provided direct humanitarian and financial assistance to more than 30 countries in the fight with the coronavirus. This year, World Health Day is dedicated to building a fairer and healthier world, and the question of equal and fair distribution of vaccines is of paramount importance for this cause. Yet, we all are deeply concerned by the unequal and unfair distribution of vaccines among developing and developed countries. Some countries hoard several times more vaccines compared to their actual needs. It is clear that in such circumstances, other countries will face vaccine shortage. Supporting fairness in vaccine distribution, Azerbaijan put forward a draft resolution ensuring equitable, affordable, timely and universal access for all countries to vaccines in response to the coronavirus disease pandemic at the UN Human Rights Council. The resolution was adopted by consensus on March 23rd this year. Azerbaijan was also among the first countries to join and support COVAX initiative. We and the whole international community expect this initiative to become a model of cooperation and solidarity in response to pandemic. Only together we will overcome the pandemic and will return to normal life. Happy World Health Day.
Thank you, President Aliyev, and I welcome your leadership on calling for equitable, affordable, timely, and universal access to vaccines at the UN Human Rights Council, and agree we must do more to ensure vaccines are fairly distributed.
President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Aliyev, received Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, Yusuf bin Ahmed Al-Uthaymin. Thanking Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, Yusuf bin Ahmed Al-Uthaymin, President İlham Aliyev said that the frequent visits of the Secretary General were the demonstration of cooperation and attitude to our country. President İlham Aliyev presented Dostluk Order to Yusuf bin Ahmed Al-Uthaymin in recognition of his contributions to strengthening of friendship and cooperation between Azerbaijan and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. Thanking the guests for the continued support of Azerbaijan in the settlement of Armenia-Azerbaijan Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, the head of state added that the occupation lasting for 30 years and resulting in sufferings of more than 1 million of Azerbaijanis and total destruction of cities and villages had been resolved by Azerbaijan unilaterally during the 44-day war. Now, when visiting the territories liberated from the occupation, foreign journalists and diplomats can see for themselves that the Armenians destroyed everything. This is the manifestation of Islamophobia, Azerbaijanophobia and vandalism, because, as I repeatedly stated, our cities were not destroyed during the First Karabakh War. They were destroyed during the time of occupation, said the head of state, stating that this was the deliberately pursued policy to remove the entire Azerbaijani and Islamic heritage from these lands and change the origin of these lands. President İlham Aliyev noted that the ambassadors and members of the OSCE contact group saw this for themselves when they visited the territories liberated from the occupation, and they issued open statements for which we are grateful to them. Now we want the entire world to see and comprehend this. The steps we have taken were based on the just cause, international law, the UN Charter, our right of self-defense and justice. We restored the justice, underlining that the aggressor had been expelled from the lands, and now it's time to restore these lands. The head of state added this would take time and brought to the attention the casualties Azerbaijan faced during the post-war period. Armenia does not present the maps of mined areas. This is another war crime because it's their obligation to do this, but they pursue this policy against Azerbaijan despite the fact that the war ended several months ago. We will do whatever necessary The demining process is ongoing. We are already planning reconstruction works. The master plans of cities and villages are being developed, and of course we want our brothers from the Islamic world to come and see what they have done to our historical heritage and observe the reconstruction process, said the head of state, and added he would be glad to see OIC Secretary General also after the start of reconstruction processes. Thanking President İlham Aliyev, Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation Yusuf bin Ahmed Al Uthaymin said he had greatly valued the personal relations he had with the President, and this had always been the case and would continue to be so. Extending his congratulations on the transformations he observed in Baku each time he visited the city, the guest expressed his confidence that President İlham Aliyev stood behind all this progress and arduous work. Congratulating the head of state on the great victory, the OIC Secretary General said this was their victory as well, and they were very happy. Commending the leadership and patience displayed by President İlham Aliyev during 30 years, the guest said this was the just cause. The lands were lands of Azerbaijan. The international law supported Azerbaijan. The OIC stood by Azerbaijan, and its resolutions supported our country. Thanks goodness that your wisdom and patience yielded its results and the issue was resolved, said Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, Yusuf bin Ahmed Al Uthaymin. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Aliyev, received President of the 75th session of the United Nations General Assembly, Volkan Bozkır.
President İlham Aliyev, calling Volkan Bozkır's visit to Azerbaijan as the President of the UN General Assembly a wonderful event, said we were proud that the representative of a fraternal country was the President of the United Nations General Assembly. Stressing that Azerbaijan has come up with several initiatives in the fight against the pandemic, in this regard, it held summits of the Turkey Council, the non-aligned movement, a special session of the UN General Assembly. The head of state noted that this was one of the important issues on the agenda today. Because vaccine nationalism, the unfair distribution of vaccines was an issue that occupied the world agenda today, said President İlham Aliyev, and stressed that Azerbaijan was trying to eliminate this injustice today. Noting the traditional close ties of our country with the UN organizations, the head of state said that contacts have become more active in the post-war period, stressing that the United Nations, as the leading world organization, should be active in the post-conflict period as well. Stating that he has repeatedly said that Nagorno-Karabakh conflict has been resolved, Azerbaijan has fulfilled the resolutions that remain on paper for almost 30 years, and the conflict has already remained in history. President İlham Aliyev said that the new period had now begun, a period of creation and recovery. Noting that negotiations are currently underway with the UNESCO in the direction of the mission, and the Azerbaijani side welcomes this, the head of state emphasized the importance of this visit in terms of a personal familiarization with the Armenian atrocities and vandalism on the liberated lands. President of the 75th session of the UN General Assembly, Volkan Bozkır, said that Azerbaijan was a very important country for the United Nations. He stressed that the UN special session chaired by President İlham Aliyev during the pandemic was indeed a timely meeting with extremely important results. You are extremely successful in chairing the non-aligned movement, Volkan Bozkır said, stressing that this organization was very important for the United Nations. He said that for him, visiting Azerbaijan as Turkish President of the UN General Assembly is a source of a special happiness and pride.
President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Aliyev, received Prosecutor General of the Russian Federation, Igor Krasnov.
The successful development of bilateral relations in various fields between the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Russian Federation was held at the meeting. It was noted that mutually beneficial cooperation between the two countries' prosecutors' offices not only contributes to the expansion of bilateral relations, but also plays a crucial role in the fight against threats, modern challenges, and crime facing the countries. The sides expressed their confidence that bilateral cooperation between the two countries would continue to expand and discuss prospective issues.
President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Aliyev, received in a video format Zaur Mikhailov due to his appointment as chairman of Azerbaijan Melioration and Water Management Open Joint Stock Company.
Noting that land reclamation and water management are one of the priority sectors in the country, President İlham Aliyev stressed that he had always paid great attention to this area. In recent years, large-scale work had been carried out related to the development of this industry. The head of state said and noted that the old infrastructure had been repaired, several large reservoirs had been built, and potable water projects had been implemented. As a result of the construction of the Taxtakörpü and Şəmkirçay reservoirs, irrigation of tens of thousands of hectares of land began. Saying that as a result of the measures taken, agriculture is also developing, quota yield increased, effective practical steps have been taken to ensure food security, President İlham Aliyev set tasks to eliminate the shortcomings in the field of land reclamation and water management, and to apply a modern approach to management as well as the delivery of modern technologies to our country. The head of state gave instructions on the need to prevent losses, maintain food accounting, ensure equitable distribution of water, stop illegal connections, repair and reconstruct canals, and said that it's planned to build 10 new reservoirs. President İlham Aliyev also gave instructions to carry out reclamation measures in the lands liberated from the occupation. In the liberated lands, we have large sources of water. We have been deprived of these opportunities for almost 30 years, the head of state said, emphasizing that after the transfer of Sogovoshan under the control of Azerbaijan, the water supply in Ağdam, Terter, Berda, Goranboy and other regions will be significantly improved, and added that he had given instructions to analyze the parameters of reservoirs on the liberated lands. President İlham Aliyev stressed the need for proper analysis of riverbeds and implementation of additional infrastructure projects for the use of Hudafervin Reservoir. Zaur Mikhailov expressed gratitude to President İlham Aliyev for the trust shown. He assured that he would do everything possible to justify this trust.
That was all for the week. Thank you for watching us and stay tuned not to miss the next edition of our program.